Good morning. Now, many kung fu classes or taekwondo classes, boxing tutorials, etc., that you see online, they teach you fancy footwork, fancy combinations, a whole bunch of stuff that may be true to some extent, but not quite helpful in a real life scenario. Now, I'm going to be blunt. In a real life scenario, most lessons are completely fucking useless, even when you're a master of such, especially in survival self defense. You see, survival self defense is very different to street fighting, to fighting competitively, and all those sorts of things. People don't understand that. People don't understand there's a big distinction, massive distinction, between fighting to survive and fighting as a martial artist. This may come as a shock to you, but most human males, not females, because of evolutionary mechanisms, are naturally ready to fight for their survival without any martial arts practice. Understand that martial arts practice is very rote learning. Like, it's just repetitive. So you're pretty much trying to force your body to have muscle memory movements, for it to be second nature, for it to be the same as you walking, for the jab to be popped up very quickly, for hooks to come, for this, to step this way, to kick that way, to parry that way, to do this. They're all good. They're all great. They're all great concepts. They're all true concepts, but in the scope of martial artistry, in the scope of a street fight, not in the scope of survival self-defense. In survival self-defense, you have a completely different aim. Understand that everything you do in life pertains to a result. If you go into survival self-defense with the mentality that you want to KO the person, you want to technically knock them out, you want to break a limb, or you want to do something spectacular, you've lost your capacity to survive. It's not what survival is. Understand that in survival self-defense, your only aim is to withstand the attack and somehow escape that attack. That could be by the person choosing to stop, that person running away, that person somehow being too dizzy to continue, or injured. There are a whole bunch of factors that may have you in a safer zone. So your aim is very, very different to a street fight. You're not going in there to crack him in the fucking jaw, to dodge this, to bob and weave, and to do all this fancy stuff. It doesn't work that way. Survival self-defense means you're using the whole earth as your escape route, not just a ring. You're not confined to a ring, you're not confined to a room. You can be very creative and limitless with your scope. You're not bound by anything. So again, you're trying in survival self-defense, especially if you've got people you're taking care of, especially if you've got a wife and kids or anything like that. And this is, I'm talking about real deadly scenarios, wars, world catastrophes, and everything. And your most important asset is being able to continue to defend your family and their interests. Your aim is to stay uninjured, to not be hurt, to ensure that they're safe first and foremost, whether they're hiding in a closet or fucking off somewhere else to an agreed meet point. And you putting up a good defense where you avoid injury, 1. 2, you're able to get out of that situation. And 3, so to speak, have the attacker scared or run off or whatever, just walk away because he realizes the attack is just not worth it. Now, understand that this very distinct tutorial is only in a situation where weapons are not involved. That may lethally injure you. So I'm talking about a dangerous knife. Most knives are dangerous beyond a few inches. Or perhaps a bat. And the obvious, a firearm. So when and this is just in the case it's a one-on-one. So if there's a one-on-one attacker, sometimes there's two or three or more, but in a survival situation, it's actually not that common to have more than one person attack you at once, contrary to all the popular Hollywood movies. Understand that in a situation where there's two or more people, this strategy probably won't work effectively. This strategy works optimally when it's one-on-one. Guarantee you. You've just got to know a few simple traits and trust your survival instincts. Trust that evolution has equipped you with the natural faculty to defend yourself in a fighting manner whenever you need. You don't need to go to a single class to harness those evolutionary traits that your ancestors always possessed and that you still possess. Locked there for a serious situation. So I'm just going to show you I'm just going to illustrate what I mean. I'm actually going to show you the technique now. It's very simple, okay? And I apologise for being in my undies. Okay? Let's say the attacker's in front of me. Okay? It's right there. Now, don't mind me, this is just my typical boxing stance. Okay? You don't have to look like this. But what you want to do is use your space. Okay? Continually keep the attacker arm's length away. Okay? He'll be trying to punch, kick, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as he's at bay, you just need to pop that jab wherever his face is. Trust me, it's different to a boxing fight. The reason in a boxing fight, within a ring, the punching goes beyond the jab is because it has to, because there's close quarter combat. When you're up against the ropes, when you're just simply next to each other and there's an opportunity to swing. Jabbing typically goes to that because of that factor. You're limited in space. What I'm trying to tell you is that survival self-defense means you're not trying to engage in the close quarter aspect. You're keeping your distance. And as long as you know how to basically aim, you may be crap too, all you've got to do is just continually pop those punches at the person's head and ensure you don't get hit in the head. That's it. Keep on using your space. Is there a door behind you? Quickly run to it and open it. Continue outside. You get my point. Keep getting that space. Nearly 100% of attackers, if not 99.99% of attackers, will try to wrestle you, grab you, punch you. But if you just keep using your space, bang, bang, popping it up, just moving around, popping, reversing backwards, side, pop, goes there, pop, back. Keep popping those jabs at the person's head. You're going to be safe. It's different to a street fight. It's different to when you're fighting for your life. So, in most survival defense situations, the person's not going to be fighting you to kill you. It'll probably be one-on-one, and the person will just want to one-up you because he wants your food, he wants your goods. There's a whole bunch of reasons. But, as said, and this is only in the case where there's no serious weaponry involved and it's one-on-one, if you just keep popping those jabs, if you just keep the person away, it's going to work. It's going to work 99 out of 100 times. The person's not going to get you in the face, because the mistake people make in a survival situation is conform to that person's fighting style. Okay, he's throwing hooks and wrestling. I've got to go in there and fucking smash him too. No. You turn the fight to your favour in your situation. You're not trying to do that. You're trying to survive. You're trying to not get hurt. So all you need to do is pop those jabs. Pop, pop, one after another. Head there, pop. Pop right, pop left, pop, pop, pop. Keep moving back. Shit, I'm running out of space. Door open. Open the door. Worst case scenario, you're trapped. Run through him, bowl him over. I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect science, that it's going to work out the way it intends, but you can try to make it that way. And that will enable your survival that much more, because you're not trying to get hurt and not realizing that. Okay? Because when you go into a fight with a giant motherfucker, stronger than you, even better at fighting than you, by going into them, by trying to fight them on their terms, by trying to fight them through what you perceive as the way you should fight them, you're actually doing yourself a bad service. You're actually trying to harm yourself and not realizing it. So the best way to get out of that, if you were fighting someone like me, because you would get built, most often times, I guarantee you would get belted if you tried to fight me that way. You need to do what I said. You need to pop, 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 find an escape route. Use your advantages. Use what's available to you. The space. Space is a friend to the attacker and you. The attacker doesn't have a monopoly, more of a monopoly over space than you do. Not even Jet Li does, or not even Bruce Lee does. Everyone is entitled to the same degree of space. That's what I'm saying to you. Use that element of space to your favor. Okay? Your attacker's going to be using fucking a few square feet of space as he perceives. I'm going to fucking smash you right here. No. Use all the space. And don't get hit. That's it. As simple as that. Don't get hit. Okay? If you come up against someone like me, who's not tall, but no means short. I mean, I'm nearly 6 foot, but I'm 120 kilo. I'm very muscly and very fast for a big bloke. If you take me one-on-one within my space, you're probably going to get belted. And severely. Very severely. So if you're fighting me, mind you, I have a massive reach. But believe it or not, I have close to 195 centimeter reach. I should have been much taller. The weights did stunt the growth. So if you take on someone like me, you do. I'm the example of someone you must fight that way. Find your distance. Keep popping those jabs. Keep reversing back. Get the fuck out of there. Don't injure yourself. That's survival. The opposite, stupidity.